Very good evening to everybody watching. Thank you for joining us on this edition of The Agenda. We are shooting this one from Rundu, where we are sitting down with the national chairperson of the All People's Party, that is Faustinus WaKudumo, just to tell us about his journey in politics, the many transitions in his political career, and of course what he intends to achieve still in this political space. Thank you very much, Chairperson, for making time. It's a pleasure to meet you first and foremost, because I've never met you before, but it's such a pleasure to sit down with you in your hometown also.
Yes,
so
right.
Thank you for making time.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So let's look at your career. You have a decorated political career, having served in Nanso, at the time when Nanso, people would say Nanso was Nanso.
Yeah.
The Nanso of the 80s, I suppose.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then of course, you also served in the union space, also a very important space, especially of the liberation struggle, and eventually also in the Youth League of SWAPO. Tell us about whether, first and foremost, you consider yourself a veteran of the liberation struggle in some way, in that sense, or you just see yourself as a normal guy?
Thank you very much. The time past tell us that what you are.
Yeah.
What you have done makes you to see either you are a veteran, war veteran, and so on.
Yeah.
The definition is very clear. War veteran is when you have participated in the liberation struggle. Which myself indeed participated.
Okay. So are you officially recognized as such, or is this just you thinking that, no, look, I am a veteran?
You know, I feel and I see myself, I participated.
Yeah.
I don't need any recognition.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I said I participated.
Yeah.
I'm one of the person who participated in the liberation struggle.
Tell us about what you think, what role you think you played in the struggle.
Yes, first of all, during our time being young people, we have seen what the apartheid regime was doing in West Africa.
Yeah.
That time it was not Namibia, it was West Africa. Then sometimes they put a stroke, Namibia.
Yeah.
So that Kavango region was divided, kept away from other regions.
Yeah.
Here, when you come here, they used to call it Kavango land. When you go to Caprivi, it's Caprivi. When you go to Wamboland, it's Wamboland. Herero land, and all these ethnic demarcation.
Homelands, yeah.
The homelands. So we found ourselves when we were in school, we have to travel, for example, to go and partake in different sports.
Yeah.
Myself, I was participating in sport.
Okay.
Yeah, from my youth, I was a springer.
Oh, I see.
I was running, yes.
Okay.
So by then, I communicated a lot to other schools. We'll go to Karara, for example. If it's time for athletes, we will go there.
Yeah.
If it's for soccer, I will go there again. If it's UIS, we'll go there.
Yeah.
And if it's on Gwediwa, it's how I really managed to find out what is happening.
Yeah.
We were so much divided. So we foresee that it's actually not only Kavango, it's actually the country is Namibia. So then the question comes, why? If we have to go other part, you must go through difficult, gates. For example, we used to have a gate here in Mororani. And if you go to the other area, it's like you're entering another country.
Yeah.
So it left us with a lot of questions. And of course, back home, my father was a businessman, and we could see how he was treated unjustly by the system. He used to be abused, verbally abused. He was detained by him doing businesses.
Yeah.
So, and I could see he was brave enough. He never wavered. He was against the system. Why should you go and buy bread in the other counter or door, and the white person go to the other counter, while it's the same thing,
Absolutely.
So I think we open up where we saw our father was really been treated by the system. Yeah.
So, during those years, there was a very strong presence of DTA here. It used to be a very, very strong hold of some sort for DTA. What were the dynamics? What convinced people, those who were supporting DTA at the time, what convinced them to join that party?
Yeah. It was a bread and butter issue.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the only way that you could be employed, mostly here, it was mostly in the government works.
Yeah.
So by you being employed by the government, you are attached to do ABC. The military was very strong here. They employed army. They took youngsters to join army. I mean, elders, they can't do much, but they took young people to join army. As a result, their relatives, they were like the breadwinners. So they would come and support their family. So the presence of the military bases, especially like in Rundu, it was a very big military base here. Yes, and then followed by Kufut and by police. But they call it also Fellahid police. So all over it was them. So beside the police, there was a system which the government have applied for DTA. All this so-called affiliation of the government of that day. They put up DTA structures, and structure like DTA, it started in Wamboland, they put up a tango. Here it was known as Zoa. Yeah, so Zoa came to have like what they called WAM, it's winning hearts and minds of the people. So they came, like for example, if you are an army, your wife must join through Zoa, then you become DTA members.
I see.
If it's a police personnel, through Zoa, then you become member of DTA. So if you're working in the government, you'll be also a member of Zoa, and by then they mobilize you to join DTA. So Zoa played a very important role, whereby they put up even a structure like the youth. We were told to go to the youth camp, they call it a Congo, whereby all of the whole Kavango region, all the schools could come together, and so to participate in activities of cultural activities. By then, they were brainwashing us. So we could see this. They will bring the army to come and also to participate, to sing, for example. And they will bring the police also to do the activities to show their whereabouts, you know. It was actually very indoctrination. And then, of course, it was not an easy thing. Like the teachers, they were organized under TUN. It was, when you join, as a teacher, already you are a member of TUN. So TUN...
TUN was the Teachers Union of Namibia?
Teachers Union of Namibia.
That union existed at that time already?
That time already.
Okay.
And automatically, they were here and there being mobilized. Because they were not, like, for example, requested, or they were automatically, when you are a teacher, automatically you are a member of TUN. The deduction was on their pay slip that you are deducted.
And TUN was affiliated to DTA in some sort, in some way, like NANTU is affiliated to SWAPO, or how?
No, it was just underground activities.
Yeah,
it's how they softened the people. They could bring them in so that they can reach out of the teachers.
I see.
Yeah, so I think in the 1980s, I came to Rundu Secondary School in 1981. So we were there, our generation, actually. We could see what was happening even with the Congo, for example. One white man, Protorius, was the chief architect. He took all the best learners to be employed there. Those who were in, that time we call it matric. They could be employed there, so they could have all the privilege. So by so doing, because they know the student movements, students' attitudes and so on, they could bring all of us so that they can also try to influence us.
Yeah.
So I think DTA was very well organized.
I see.
You know, Kavango, the headmen from this side of Mbokushu, Kiriku, Sambiu, Mbonza, all of them was DTA.
Yeah.
They were, the only person who was Swapo, it was Mkwangali.
I see.
So the headmen were well organized in terms of so-called Kavango administration.
I see.
Yeah, so they were well organized.
Yet, amidst all that, you were somehow involved in Swapo politics. How did you survive the indoctrination when everybody was being recruited and they were swayed, their minds were being swayed to become DTA members, but for some reason you were in Swapo? If you can tell us about those intricacies and how you find yourself in Swapo, because you played a big role in 1989 here during the transition elections into independence.
Thank you very much. Of course, as I said, it was easy for the system to actually to bring awareness what they were doing, if you were open-minded. Yeah, being grown up in at Catholic, we were different taught there.
Yeah.
So the foundation was very strong. So in 1984, when NANSO was launched, it was really, the time was very good. Yeah, so it was the time when SWAPO was organizing people in the exile. And at the same time, SWAPO was getting much stronger in the operation, the border. So SWAPO wanted an assistant to come and do activities in the country. They could not only do it, of course, it's armed struggle, but they needed it home. Home support was also needed. Because we knew by that time, 1978, Resolution 435 was already established. And so we knew either it is now by war, but in the end of the day, SWAPO already adopted, already agreed for Resolution 435, meaning its election to take place, not by military only. Yes, of course, myself and others who were involved in NANSO, my brother Ignatius Chouameni was one of them, Vincent Likoro was one of them, those who were in academy, Marius Kudumo them, Marcus, Joseph Dishaw. So that group, actually, they were in the founding of NANSO. So lucky, I came to know all these people coming from the background, strong background of Catholic. So I happened to get involved. So I attended meetings of NANSO very early after the launch of NANSO in 1984, 1985. So at that time I was in the Rundu Secondary School. We organized ourselves to have a group of youngsters who could really make sure that Rundu Secondary was our base.
Just to cut you short there, Uncle Faustinus, what was NANSO agitating for at the time? What did you want as a group?
At that time, it was, of course, our education was Afrikaans. It was our motherland, our medium of instruction. And education was Bantu system. When we were to finish our education here, you have to go to SA, South Africa, to further your study. Here, there was no such thing like different. It was only academy. To us, education was very important. As I said, coming from Catholic background, the first doctoral degree, PhD degree holder, Dr. Romanus Kampongo, it was from Zambia, from this region. He opened us our mind already that education is very important. Whatever you have to apply, education is very important.
And Africans, what was wrong with Africans? Why did you want why did you oppose Africans as a medium of instruction?
No, it was used to dominate. Yeah, it was to dominate that you must just be in Africa, in Southwest Africa.
Yeah.
From here, if you finish here, you only go to South Africa. If you go to other countries, Africans and only here.
Oh.
So you have to communicate into English somewhere else, but there was no such. So NANSO agreed the resolution of our Congress that no Africans English must be medium instruction.
How about both?
Yes, no, we took it as a second.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was not like we rejected it. We said Africans must be a second language.
So today you Jiprat my Africans.
My Africans.
Okay. So tell us around then these huge responsibilities that SWAPO entrusted on you around 1989, around the election period, that first democratic election supervised by the UN here.
Thank you very much. Of course, being at NANSO, as I said before, and being when after 1986, in 1987, I was working for CCN, Council of Chiefs of Namibia. I happened to expose myself a lot to all other stakeholders. At that time, NUNW, they were also getting out of the regions. I helped them to put up a structure of the workers' union here in Kavango region. And of course, that time, Jerry Kanjo was the Secretary General of NUNW. Yeah. They established MAN and NAVO on all these branches. It was actually, when we came here, we found ourselves being SWAPO, NANSO, you could not do anything else, but you have to be in the struggle of liberation, being SWAPO. I was elected as SWAPO Youth League, represented via the region. At the same time, I became a regional chairperson of SWAPO Youth League. Mm-hmm. As a result, I was already exposed to national structure of SWAPO. Yeah. So my whole responsibility was to put up structures in the whole region, from Pagani to Mpungu. We drove the whole region to establish contact persons, branches, from district to the regions. It was my responsibility to prepare ourselves. Yeah. It was already 88 and 87. Then from 87, 88. 1988, we started for mobilizing the SWAPO. See, there was no different anymore, NANSO and SWAPO Youth League. We conscientized the young people why it's important them to join SWAPO. Yeah. So, and by so doing, we had a very difficult time with teachers. As I say, teachers were organized under DUN and so on. And under Congress of NANSO, we took a resolution to form a union for the teachers. Mm-hmm. It was NANSO who took this resolution to mobilize the teachers. By so doing, NANTO came to be born 1988, 89? I think so, yeah. Okay. So it worked out because Comrade Marco Siko was if I'm not mistaken, he was the chairperson. He was the president, first president of NANTO. In the same time, he was a member of Police Bureau in SWAPO. So the coordination between the NANSO Youth League workers, it was on my offices. Yeah. So I happened to work for CCN, and churches were very strong. We organized the churches. The churches were divided here. Catholic could not be easy for Elsin, Lutheran, and all these kind of things. Yeah. When I was employed in 1987, it was my duty to bring all this head together with the blessing of Kamieta, Dr. Kamieta, Dr. Osik, the late. Yeah. So we were all the affairs. Yeah. So, and there was a lot of intimidation. Yeah. It's why the church played a very important role, whereby I connected to LAC, Legal Assistance Center was established by Dave Smart at that time. Yeah. The Namibian was established by Gwen Lister. I happened to be trained as a photographer in SAE. So I was helping them to take film here for Liebenberg.
I see.
So all activities which is taking place, we could record like what you're doing here. Yeah. So we updated it, to expose all the brutal activity of the Kufuts and army here. Yeah. So then come to the uprising of 1988, student uprising, the one that took place in Wambuland. Before that, already here, one of our members of the worker was poisoned was given water in the fridge by a manager of Kavango garage, a white man. Then when he was taken to the hospital, it was battery water, and he died. It was the first demonstration we organized here. It's the young people from Rundu Secondary to all the location to close the garage of the workers and to close the hospitals, the medical personnel who declared that no, it was not poison. So before the uprising, already here we started the journey.
I see.
So with that uprising, we never went back. Even when the uprising started in 13 June, here it was 13 June, when we organized a rally here, big rally, under NUNW, SWAPO, NANSO, all this together. A lot of students were arrested here. So as a result, Dr. Ngwangwama, your colleague, was one of the detainees. He was the one who was arrested here.
I see.
So it gave us the uprising so that we could get ourselves organized. That yes, 1988, it was we took already the decision what will happen next.
I see.
The students were organized, the workers were organized, SWAPO League, Women Council, Workers Union, all of them were organized. So it was a matter of organizing ourselves to go home. When we go home with a message, it's clear what to do.
Yeah.
So that actually shaped us, that the no-go areas where SWAPO could not go, where NUN could not go, the youth could go back to their home with the message to teach their parents. Yeah. So the preparation started actually there.
Wow,
so the youth were the school were turned into our bases.
I see.
Yeah, so from Rundu Secondary, from Dr. Romanus, Lenis Sipapo, Max Makushe, Linus Lieve Akusembe, Kanjimi Murangi, all the schools were organized. And even when the resolution 435 could not proceed, you remember 1988 when the argument came that it's not going to work out. When SWAPO called off everything out, that now is an armed struggle. We, as youth, were the one who was responsible to organize the young people here to go to exile. It's where Comrade Karupudem, Comrade Gelaga, Comrade Kumbwa, all of them, they left the country. No. We were the organizer for making sure that they are not arrested in the border. Yeah. And so as they left here at home, those who remained, the youth, the NANSO, SWAPO League, and the party itself, we are united. Yeah. So we started with mobilizing ourselves. The elections came. I was selected as a SWAPO coordinator for election. And later on, I became the director for election here in Kavango.
In 1989?
1988 already.
1988.
So we then opened an office here.
Yeah.
One of our comrades gave us his shop. We agreed to pay him 3 months. Yeah. 5,000 per month. We established ourselves. So the Kufuts and all of them, they came to close it because that time the resolution 435 was not yet in place. Well, it did. But after that, we happened to open our office, and I was running the office of SWAPO here.
Okay. In 1989, Kavango played a particular role in ensuring that SWAPO won that election. It was a very fragile time. SWAPO did well in the north and a few other places, but I think the results here were delayed or something, and DTA and others felt that it was actually game over for SWAPO, and somehow Kavango came. It was Kavango basically that gave SWAPO that final push. What can you tell us about that?
Yes, of course, as I said, our fathers who left us, those who were in the exile, the message was very clear that SWAPO is not only for Wamboland. It was a national organization. So we have to unite with the aim to defeat the Boers. Yeah. The message was clear. And here is, as I alluded already, it was a strongholder of DTA. Yeah. Based on what? Bases, army. Most of our students were taken from school. They were recruited as army soldiers, and they were sent back to the school to mobilize us. It was not an easy thing to do. So the organization of young people here, we made sure that election was properly articulated to each member of the student here. We were even making ourselves available to see as to how to educate our people how to vote for SWAPO. So NANSO's message was very clear. Each student must go back to your house. Your parents must be educated why you have to vote for SWAPO, not for DTA.
Yeah.
So that education played a very important role. And of course, as I said, the colleagues who were here, they were in Windu, for example, they left to work. Some of them, they even boycotted schools. The Marcus, the Kampungus, and the Tovoros, the Patricks, and the Shwamini, all of them came here back to boost us here. So when they saw all these people from South Africa, the Ambrosios, all of them came back from Natal. We said, all of us must come here. All of us must go back to our village. So it actually helped us to be at our villages, to start organizing the masses there. So the concertizing was very, with the help of the church, of course.
Yeah.
We could go to the churches. They opened up their facilities for us to conduct voters' education.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the key elements which helped us to see where to vote SWAPO. Because that time SWAPO was called terrorist.
Yeah.
SWAPO having a tile. You don't know what is SWAPO, you know. So we have to educate our people that this is SWAPO. In the same line, DTA was having also market battle paper, which they really gave another pictures.
Yeah.
Just to confuse the voters.
Yeah.
They couldn't see either this is Semyoma or this is what, you know. It was actually a manipulation system which they applied. So the students went back home. The workers went back home. The churches were calm. So we were in one united body in Kavango. So regardless of where you're coming from, here it was one family. So our aim was to go and vote for SWAPO. So
And then SWAPO won. Tell me around that time now, the announcements, what do you recall about that moment?
at that time when you know that sound of what?
Yeah, the radio.
The radio, you know.
Yeah.
It reminds us that in the office where we used to work,
Yeah.
all of us came to wait for the result. And it was delayed purposely. That time they knew exactly that the South was taken out already by DTA. Our neighbor here, Capri, was taken already by DTA. Wambuland won, SWAPO won. Windhoek, the capital, won, SWAPO won. I think also Walvis Bay, SWAPO won. And some small places here and there. So the crucial area was Kavango. Imagine that what was in our mind. From Bukushu till Kwangali, how many people voted here? Kavango is the second majority of Namibia. The vote was here. So all of us, some of them even stopped the radio because they are waiting. Why the election not been announced?
Yeah.
Did we lost or what?
Yeah.
So I think the higher pressure, blood was higher. All of us could not really understood.
Yeah.
But for us, the youth, we started singing. We have already that feeling that, no, we won. That's why the delay. We started for toying the SWAPO office, toying an allocation to come, all of them to come with the office. When the election results came, we were already in that spirit of celebration. We were for sure what we did that we will win this election.
Wow, man.
So it was already a declaration we took, die or we have to win.
Yeah.
So, because our slogan was, tell your mother, tell your father, tell your brother, tell your sister, tell your girlfriend, to vote what? SWAPO.
Yeah.
So the message was clear there.
Was
so
clear.
the result was already calculated that SWAPO is a must to win here.
Yeah. You see, Tata WaKudumo, there's something that is striking in what you are saying. So you talk about, with so much passion, those events, articulating them with passion and with determination, with spirit. I could almost picture how things were unfolding at the time when I was only 7 years old, in 1989 or so.
That's 7 old.
Yeah,
7 years old.
I think so. So, but then SWAPO won. SWAPO became the ruling party. Our country started its self-determination journey. And then something around 1998 or 1999 happened. The Congress of Democrats, Benu Lenga, came up with that new political party, breaking away from SWAPO. And there was a SWAPO breakaway. Among those that followed Benu Lenga to COD was your buddy, that Ignatius Chouameni.
Yes.
What transpired there? And I suppose that is also the time that you eventually joined COD, also around the same time. What happened? Because we just don't know. Chouameni was never fired by Semneoma. He was a deputy minister.
Yes.
He quit the deputy minister's position. Imagine today a deputy minister in this country quitting. It's almost impossible. But Chouameni did that. What happened?
Yeah, thank you very much, comrade. I have to tell you the truth that within SWAPO, the breakout is not the first time it's happened. When independence came, Sam Nujoma was the first president. May his soul rest in peace. The aim and objective of the organization after independence, it started changing somehow. We expected that all of us are equal in this country. People from exile and people in the country, we're supposed to be, all of us, equal citizens of this country. So what happened here is, I said, this country was organized by people who were in the country. We know exactly what we wanted. We know exactly where we came from, what we went through, and what we participated. So we refused to be called a second class in SWAPO. We said all of us participated equally in this struggle. Whatever to be decided, the people must be consulted. The issue of the land came very strongly to Chouameni. The homeland issue, he didn't believe in homeland. He said, independence came, we're supposed to get rid of all this Kavango administration, Herero administration. These things must fall out because that was the original plan which divided us. So I think the colleagues of exile manipulated the system that as divided you are, you will be easily be ruled for them to put up the agenda, which we didn't welcome. So the first issue of misuse of resources was one of it. Yeah. Of course, we fought it for other liberation movements during our war. So the issue of money sending in the West to DRC, for example, without proper channel through the system was noticed already. Yeah. From there, we knew already things are not right. So people who were in the country was taken as a second class in the movement. Or if you can check all the structures, most of the structures was occupied by people who were in the exile. Of course, of them they were educated, of them they were not educated. They were given certain papers. Coming to job, they could not even perform. So we knew that things are not right here.
Let me stop you there for a minute. So if that was the case, Uncle Faustinus, Benu Lenga at the time was Namibia's ambassador to the UK. People are scrambling to this day, people are scrambling for those positions. It's a very elite position. Ben Ulenga fought from inside. He went to Robben Island, but he's an insider if we want to look at it that way. So he was an insider, but he was recognized with a role as ambassador in the UK. Shiwameni fought from inside. He was a deputy minister. In what sense were the inside people being excluded?
No, we talk about the quantity. They try to manipulate people. They know exactly the strengths of Jerry Kanjo. They know exactly the strengths of Shiwameni. They try to use him, actually, to give that impression which you have, that, oh, Shiwameni is a deputy minister. You, Kavango, what do you want again? But we said, Kavango is a second majority. If the cabinet is to be established, why only Shiwameni? Why not other? He never fought for himself. He was not a selfish guy. If he was a selfish, what could he have worried? He was a deputy minister, receiving good salary, all those privileges. Jerry Kanjo the same. You must remember, Jerry Kanjo was the Secretary General for Union.
Yes.
So what happened to the workers' union? The bone of SWAPO was the laborers. What happened to our laborers? The living wage of the laborers. How could Jerry Kanjo tell his people back home that Namibia is free? This is what you fought it for. This is a privilege which you have.
And Marco Osiku, he was in the first cabinet ever of our country. He was probably the youngest person in that cabinet at the time. Him and I think Hartmut Ruppel or something like that, according to my records.
Yes.
So he was from this region. He was a full cabinet minister, if I'm not mistaken. Shiwameni was, of course, a deputy minister. He was a young man. He was being, in the eyes of many, he was being groomed to become one of the future leaders of SWAPO. So in what way would you say that people from this area were sort of excluded? Because those are the numbers, the facts are there on the table.
Yeah, no, as I said, not excluded in the real sense.
Yeah.
Marco never lived in Rundu.
Yeah.
Marco left in Windhoek all these years. So when he was recruited there, he was manipulated by SWAPO leadership. He was having a problem in this region here. If you can check our education, which we fought it for, how many students were sent abroad to study, further study here?
Post-independence or before?
No, after.
Yes.
If you can check the classic here. Check our land. We have land in Namibia, which we have a crucial problem here. Kavango don't have a problem of land. What we wanted here is input to develop, as the president has said, to be a food basket.
Yeah.
Already that time, Kavango was crying. We could not have bread to our table for our children and for our people already. It was not something is new. Already that time, we were already classified as one of the poorest region. Since that time, in the presence of Marco, when he is a minister, Shiwameni is the deputy minister. At that time already, they were here with us. We told them, this is what you have to take the central government. The result is what? It was a skew development.
Yeah.
Nothing was happening here. Besides the small thing which we are seeing here, so-called green scheme and so on, which was left for the Boers. So there was no expansion of the idea which was left here for us to be as a bread basket of this country. The first 10, 15 years, the president of the country declared Kavango and Caprivi being a food basket of Kavango. Yeah. How come that 15 years of time that we still struggling to feed this nation? While we have land, you remember Honorable Marco was the Minister of Resettlement, isn't it?
Yes.
He was told to buy farmers in the south for 5 million. We don't, and here we have land. Why could we not take the land of Samyu, Bonza, Gerico, develop it into green scheme to develop food?
Well, what is wrong with the green schemes? Engage me on the green schemes. In fact, it's very interesting what you just said, that actually these green schemes, a lot of them were already in existence by independence. I didn't know that. I must be honest with you. I thought all of them, or at least the majority of them, were actually established post-independence. That is one, but secondly, they do exist now.
Yeah.
But we hear there's a lot of problems there. Production is almost non-existent. The equipments are broken. The land, only a portion of that land is being cultivated. So much land is left uncultivated. What is happening there?
Yes, to be honest with you, the Ministry of Agriculture, when we started this journey, was very clear.
Yeah.
Agriculture must take place here. I happened to work with Oxfam, Canada, and we brought some money in the country to establish some activities here.
Yeah.
And one of it was to reinvest, to re-establish the college, agriculture college, was at Mashari. Before independence was closed down. All the infrastructure was there. For you to venture into to agriculture, number one is skills development. So our people here, they have to go to Ambulant, of how many, on a quarterly basis, to be taught the Kavango. While we have Mashari is a college with everything there. All what you need is just to bring in, skills people to teach people agriculture. Number one is skills development. Sadi Congo, for example, they have about 500 hectares, which was under cultivation that time. It still is existent. It calculates some maize meal and some of oil and so on. Stem was one. And then Ndongalinena was a new one. Bungu Bungu, we happen to drink milk. Yeah. You like milk?
Yes, I do.
We used to buy milk here.
Yeah.
After independence, they closed it down, apparently to put up a new one. Today is 35 years of independence. This thing is still a white elephant here. You must go and check it. We have Skondo is a new one. The land was given to them. It's not fully utilized. Misese is one. It was given to the private. At least something is happening there. So what I'm trying to say is that the commitment, the will is not there. What they wanted to do is to privatize this thing. For example, if you go to Vungu Vungu, people from that area there's a small farmers, right? You don't find them there inside. You get people from some other regions who are farming there. They make a Vungu Vungu to be run in such a way that local people, you don't meet the requirement. There's nothing wrong that some people must come there, but make it also easy for people local to participate. If you go to Vungu Vungu, no, all the commercial farmers there is from other area. I'm not saying it's not good to come, but make it easy for them. If it's 50-50.
There must be a balance.
There must be a balance. This is what I'm trying to say. If you go to Ndongalinena, people who started there, they're supposed to get out to give a chance to others.
Yeah.
Since they were there until now, they don't graduate. Why do you see people go to school, they don't graduate? Ndongalinena is supposed to be graduation. Give them other land, which we have water, everything, give them equipment so that the green scheme must not be only government owned.
Yeah.
Private people can also be, empowered. Yeah. And people who are there in Ndongalinena or somewhere else, they could be given that assistance. Yeah. So we come for, then we talk about how many hectares we're talking about, this so-called green scheme. Can we really feed this nation with the total hectares we have? So what we are saying is that the green scheme is supposed to be expanded outside boundaries. For example, we have Ndonga, let's say Skondo, for example. The outside people, they have land. Why can you give them water from your main 5 hectare, 10 hectare? You also give them assistance because the infrastructure is there already. They have tractors, they have everything, the knowledge. So that it must not be only corridored. It must be expanded. If you go to Tanzania, for example, it's happened the same. the government only facilitate, they create environment, but the people outside benefit actually. Then you can have 10,000, 50,000 hectares of land being cultivated under irrigation scheme. But here, the understanding here is the green scheme must be 400 hectares and it must be government owned, that's it. That is not the, you will not be able to have production.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you go to other countries which we can learn from, even China, the community participation is the key, not people in so-called. That's why we are fighting. Now you come there, I'm outside. Then you ask yourself, oh, brother, how did you come to Vungu Vungu? I also applied. He said, no, my brother, I meet the requirement. You invested money to meet this requirement. But is it true? Is it true you invested? If we check record, we found that these are only friends who pick themselves to say, look, I'm a director here, go to this area, this is the procedure, and you are in there. Because in the scheme, you don't bring anything there. The water is there already, the tractor is there already. Everything that you are given for free, all what you do is just to manage. In the end of the day, 700,000, 1 million is in your pocket. Tomorrow you are driving a nice car. So, and now, who is fooling who here?
Yeah.
So the green scheme could be expanded in such a way that people must also participate.
Absolutely.
And how do they participate? If it's Secondo, for example, on Dongalinena, branch out a pipeline, give them a pipeline, each one can get 10,000 or 20,000 hectares, liters, give them sprinklers or whatever, give them all this assistance. The village, when you reach at the village where so-called green scheme, it must be a green all over, not only in your homestead.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so this is actually why it is actually failing.
Absolutely.
The architect of the green scheme, some of them we know, they're here. Yeah, Menold Kambukwe, before he left this country, he was one of the benefit of that time. When they give him the recreational service farm there at Divondo, he was actually competing against this so-called green scheme. He was beating all of them here, besides Sadi Kongoro, Msese. They could not compete. Just imagine recreational facilities run by one person at Divondo. In terms of crop production, he was beating all of them. He was beating Msese, he was beating Dongalinena, waking off the prisoners.
Yeah.
So it means something must be wrong.
Something must be wrong.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We go for a very short break and then return with Faustinus WaKudumo. We continue the conversation with All People's Party National Chairperson Faustinus WaKudumo. What you are saying there, it's actually very, very interesting because you see, we live in Windhoek, far away. We don't understand the dynamics and the intricacies of what is happening with these green schemes. Now, what is your take as a people in this area? You remember just over a year ago, Minister Kalesh Lightfine put out some adverts for private operators to come and operate these things. And they said the bids were even open to international bidders who have the necessary requisite skills to come and really wake up these dead elephants. What is your take on that approach?
Yes, of course.
Especially when you said, I'm sorry to cut you, especially when you said, I think you said Musese, this one that is run by a private operator and it seems to be thriving.
Yeah. Of course, as I said, one of the colleagues, he was here, Saka Ferreira, he was running Musese. It was government. When it was privatized for the contract, right, as a service provider. So when he took over, you have to look on the infrastructure. I think the boost of infrastructure is very important. He put up more pivot system so that he could meet the demand. Yes, the demand, supply. So, of course, we messed up with the economy of this country. Yeah. We didn't have money to run this country, to develop agriculture in full scheme. Is why the ministers opted to open up to international bidders, which is not bad in such way, but you have to see the modality. How do you do it? You must have private-public partnership, whereby the investors come with money, and we as Namibians, we have now the resources, then we put as a joint venture, so that we can also learn skills in the meanwhile for a certain period of time. When time comes, when they leave, we can manage this thing. I think that is what we could have actually opted for. We have seen the colleague of, like the one who was said, Ferreira, he brought some guys from SA to run his affairs. He was an engineer, electrical engineer. He never knew anything about agriculture, but he could manage the system. So I think number one. Number two, as I said, the local content is very important. If people open up, you must have at least a plan. How do you empower your people also? Because these people have given their land. This land, which so-called green scheme, it was not taken from anywhere. It was from the people. And when the government went to these people, it was a promise that, no, give us this land, we will empower you. Number one, job creation. But it's not only good job creation. People want to participate. They want to also have a share. For example, if it's happening in Gerico, the Gerico authority must also participate, for example, 5 or 10%. So then the other people from other regions, they are welcome because they have access to money, they have access to skills. What is the use of you keeping it for Kavango if we don't have the skills, for example, as I said. So I think there must be a win-win situation here. There must be a balance. It was nothing wrong, but only that he opted that the foreigners comes here on condition like what is happening in Reckon Africa here. What is our benefit from Kavango, Reckon Africa? The government only have 5 or 10%. While the resources is ours, the oil is ours, the gas is ours. The same apply to this land. The land is ours, the water is ours. The people who work on the land is us. What is our stake in this one? What is our percentage in this? So that when time comes, 5 to 10 years, you have also empowered your people.
It's interesting that you mentioned Recon Africa. What's happening there? What is the latest? What's actually happening there? Because we see some people are saying, no, the whole thing must be stopped. It's going to spill to poison the reservoirs of the Kavango Delta. Some are saying, no, it's really necessary. And what is your take as a political party, maybe as APP? What is your attitude towards that project?
No, it's the involvement of people is very important. There must be openness on these things. We know what happened to other countries. So with the new technology, most of these things can be really avoided. So what's happening there is, at the moment, stage 1 was done. The research was done. They found gas is a lot here. The oil, they have oil. They try to look for the quantity. But, as I said, Kavango been classified as a poor region. Any activity which comes here to empower these people, not everybody will be happy to that. Namibia is a country we're supposed to think otherwise, like the Meme Natumbo is approaching. His approach. So we have to know it is in a foreign country. But if you go and check their system, their management, you don't find local people. Local, I mean Namibians. It's only foreigners there. You don't know what they are doing, their findings. You only read it from the newspapers. What we see must happen is that they must open up. If it's consultant, Namibian government must be spearhead these consultants. You must remember, in the area where they are exploring, until 1975, the PS were mining diamond there.
Really?
Yes, they left because of the war. during the liberation struggle. The plane fighters were attacking their equipment. They have to abandon the mine. Our uncles, they were mining diamond in Sakambu.
Really?
Not small, big quantity. The Kimberley ran through that area. Now, if you bring only these foreigners here, they come without proper oil supervision. When they start drilling this oil, they drill up to 250 meters. Who is monitoring these activities? Now with the advanced technology, they will know exactly there is diamonds here. They will dig there. If that diamond is founded, how will you know? So it's why there's a lot of secrecy in this Recon Africa thing. Mm-hmm. So our state as APP, the ministry involved must open up. There must be monitoring and evaluation. And our ministry people who are geologists, they must get involved so that they can know exactly, is the oil really there? If it's there, how many quantity we talk about and how long it will take.
Yeah.
So why I'm saying this, we try to talk to people there. You don't find anything which they can tell you here. The small guys, they are just running around and so on. The main people who are doing the exploration is not from here.
I see.
So they must open up so that everybody must know, yes, if it's oil available, where is it? What is the quantity? So far, the oil is available, the gas is available, but how long it will take? There must be a time framework.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The last question, the last subject that I want you to engage me briefly on before we close this very important conversation, Uncle WaKudumo, is this constant reference that you've been making throughout this conversation about Kavango being the poorest and all that, which is not your making. That is what the national statistics say. Your Namibia Statistics Agency, all other government officers will tell you exactly the same. What is the problem? Why is there so much poverty in these regions with so much that you have? You have the river flowing, you have the best rains in the country, you have all this, of course you have explained the dynamics around the agricultural projects here. You have timber, you have mines that you're talking about now and potential oil. What a paradox this is.
It's a good question, and I think we need time to talk about it.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of
the
it now.
bottom line, as I said, number one is education. You must educate your people. Don't give them fish. Teach them how to catch fish. Why should we get free food in Kavango? Why not getting food for work so that people can till their land and then give them food? Why should we import maize from where Mahango and all these kind of things? If we could expand their villages, give them all the necessary equipment so that if there's no rain, we can still harvest. We have seen the pattern of the rain nowadays. Sometimes you harvest, sometimes not, because of the rain. The only way to do this thing is irrigation. Because as you said, you have water. You can't get water of the black basket to water 5 or 10 hectares. There's no way. You need infrastructure development. Pipeline, you must put up pipelines. Then people can get water. Then you teach them the new way of harvesting, mahango, maize, and whatever. So by so doing, they will be able not to stay in Rundu. Why should we have 100,000 people in Rundu? No. They're supposed to be in the village with all these activities, then they can harvest food and come here. For example, we have oil factory here, which the land was given. You go there, they put fence, now it's been stolen. Cotton factory, it was planned here. What is there? Rubbish. You talk about wood. We used to have sawmill here. Go there, what's happening? Nothing. We used to have a bakery. You know what is bakery? For bread.
Bakery.
Yeah, we used to have one here. Go there. There's at least pipelines there. Now we are getting bread from Windhoek. Bokomo have to supply Rundu of bread. Are you right here? You know, you go to blueberries at Mashare. It was investors who came there. We are exporting blueberries to Europe. Understand? Mangeti, we used to have more than 18,000, 30,000 cattle there. Go and see what's happening with these cattle. All of them is gone. Where is it? How many people benefited from the San people in Chumkwe? How many people were given those cattle? From here, how many people? But, you know, if you could take those cattle there and you give each one here, in Sambu Island, we have 200 hectares, no, farms. Each one 5,000 hectares. Of them, 2,500 hectares. If you could give those cattle for each one, you give them 40 hectares here in the farms. Then you multiply. You give them water, you give them fencing. How many people those farmers could be employed? How many milk can come from there? How many maize can come from there? Because they have land. What is happening now? Go and see what is happening. Minister of Land, they wrote letters to these people. If you don't develop this farm, the land will be taken away. What is happening now at the moment? People are selling this land illegal to people who have money. So how do you expect these people will come from the poverty? Yeah. While their land which was given to them by the government, they don't bring any infrastructure development, you don't empower them. If you go to agri-bank, you don't qualify. The land is a leasehold. It's not a private owned. Understand? So you can't take it to the bank to use it as a collateral. So what we are saying here is, if our colleagues in the South, they're having ownership of land, the same must apply to these farms here. Make it available for them so that they can own the farm, so that they can use that farm as a collateral at the bank. Then they can develop the farm. If 200 farmers in Sambu can develop and each one can take about 15 to 20 people employees, where is the unemployment here? No. Where is the poverty will come here? If you take the Giriku, the same apply. You take Munza, the same apply. Kwangali, the same. In the so-called inland, the Boers, they were putting up fencing of those farms, which we are seeing when you travel to Windhoek, isn't it? Mm-hmm. It wasn't done by themselves. It was the government. They put fence, borehole, everything. They give them some starting capital and some goats and some cattle. Today, they're still living here. Why not here? If it's true that you want to empower people, and the people have their land, what is the Minister of Agriculture and Minister of Land and Finance doing to empower these farms here? No. You have to you must partake. Go and see what is happening here. Mm-hmm. The land is available. You go there, you drive 1,000 and 1,000 kilometers, nothing is developing. Only here and there, those who maybe retired as teachers, they started here and there, those working in the government, so on. The same people, right? So what I'm saying is that this is man-made. No, don't empower Kavangos. Don't empower people from the south so that you can easily manipulate them and so that you can roll them. When it comes this cheap politics of election, yeah, tomorrow everything will be fine. After election, these people are forgotten. My colleagues, if this is the way we are going, this problem is not only Kavango. Kunene, you can go there. I've been working there. It's not the truth, only Kavango. It's not true that it's Wambuland. You go in Wambuland, people are suffering there. There's no water, there's nothing. You come to Rundu here at Ngwangwa, here. The people are drinking dirty water from the well, where their cattle and their goats are drinking. People are also getting here in Rundu. While we have water here. Now you want to put a pipeline from here to Windhoek, forgetting your people in the region. When these people say, don't take it to Windhoek, no, you are tribalist, you are what, it's not. We must prioritize our people first. Absolutely. If you can take Ndongalinena, that old river, it runs about 12 kilometers. If you can rehabilitate that river, it can come about 60 kilometers up to Naute. You know the Umbramba. That river comes from here up to Ochuarongo. So you can rehabilitate that river, it comes to Rundu. Then you can have a green scheme, what I'm talking about, of the people green scheme. Not government green scheme only. Absolutely. People's green scheme, where people can also say, I'm having 20 or 50 hectares, 100 hectares, I'm harvesting mahangu. This mahangu can be brought to the silos of the government and people can be paid for out of their sweat. Yeah. Then we can talk about development. Not only to wait for the old pensioners. Yeah. Go and see what is happening in the old pensioners there. You can see already the sign of poverty of Kavango. Just go there at, what is this, Nampost. Yeah. You will cry. Yeah. What is happening there? if these people can't bring that money to buy food for these people.
Absolutely.
So what I'm saying is that it's not only Kavango.
Yeah.
It is this issue of poverty. It covers everywhere. You go to area where the potential is there, but it's a small scale thing.
I understand.
Yeah, we go to the Vundu we have now. They have started with blueberry when WaKudumo, the senior, he was fighting about the blueberry to be established.
Yeah.
It is harvesting now.
Yeah.
So if we can have a blueberry manufacturing to add value there, how many people will be employed there?
Yeah.
So if we can have oil factory here, how many people will have work for oil? The milk, what you're talking about. The cotton, you know how many people you can employ is cotton for cotton? Yeah. How many farmers can grow trees, which is moringa?
Yeah.
We heard about moringa.
Yes.
In Kavango, it grows very well. It started here. It died natural death.
Yeah.
But we are buying medicine made from moringa. We bring it from where? India and all this kind. Why can't we not put up a moringa plantation here, where the farmers can plant moringa, you harvest, and then you put up a factory here to do all the processing. How many farmers can benefit?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think this is the way to do it.
No, it's true. I just said that this one would need time because it was getting exciting. But thank you, Uncle WaKudumo, for making time. Really, I think you gave us perspectives that some of us, including myself as the host, didn't know. Because sometimes we are too far away, we do not understand. Our reporters here, they write for us, they send stories to us there. We have no understanding. But when you're on the ground, you get to see really the bigger picture. But we appreciate your time. We will talk to you again very soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, that is Faustinus WaKudumo. He is national chairperson of the All People's Party. He's been also involved in a lot of SWAPO activities in the 90s and the late 80s. And he was just sharing that exciting story. Thank you for watching.